Okay. Let's start off by reading a quote from Senator Orrin G. Hatch, who was speaking at the Senate Committee on a Judiciary hearing. He says, "I and many others are concerned that all this college football money is turning college sports into nothing more than a minor league for pro football rather than a legitimate educational activity for student athletes." All right. My opponent has failed to see that the student athletes get all the help they can get with scholarships that pay for education, housing, and other expenses that the non-athletic students are forced to deal with. I'll be discussing how an additional stipend for the NCAA athletes is the wrong way to go. A response to Rich's first claim. I would respond by saying that NCAA athletes' education is already paid for. My opponent has stated that student athletes do not have enough time for jobs. While it is true that student athletes have much more time devoted to their sports, he also stated that scholarships do not cover enough expenses, and this is not true. According to Sports Illustrated, an article titled, "Should College Athletes Be Paid? Why? They Already Are." The article states that student athletes earn free tuition, which over the course of 4 years can exceed $200,000. They are also provided with housing, textbooks, food, and academic tutoring. When they travel to road games, they are given per diems for meals. They also get coaching, training, game experience, and media exposure they earn in their respective crafts. The article also states that in an article in the NCAA website, it states that the benefits to NCAA players, it quotes, "Among the primary financial benefits is the NCAA Catastrophic Injury Insurance Program, which assists student athletes and other athletics participants who suffer catastrophic injuries while participating in an intercollegiate athletics activity. The NCAA also provides other insurance programs and also helps student athletes with unmet financial needs through the Student Assistance Fund." Considering how much financial aid is given to these athletes, I would say that they are not in need of a full job and can spare that time. My opponent states that they do not have much time, but I argue that they just don't need it with all the benefits that they're given. My response to Rich's second claim. I respond by saying NCAA rules of amateurism keep equality. Now, my opponent refers to the case of Samuels being suspended for accepting $200 for food, but I consider this to be one case amongst many different cases. As he stated in the other case, not every athlete is in need of food. In the article in Sports Illustrated about Marcus Camby accepting his benefits, Marcus Camby was a second-year forward, and the article states, "He acknowledges having taken thousands of dollars in cash and gifts from agents in violation of the NCAA rules while he was an All-American at Massachusetts." It also presents a quote from Camby stating that he said, "I did some things I'm not proud of. I did some things I shouldn't have done." I understand that the affirmative wants to draw a line, but how can a line be drawn? With the overall proposal that every NCAA athlete should receive an additional stipend, how does anybody monitor how they spend it? And what about the players who do not need money for food and housing because it has already been paid for with the scholarship? My response to Rich's third claim. I respond by asking, how is additional money related to performance? As I said before, the NCAA athletes are already given scholarships that ease their financial burden. These students must also remember that, yes, they are paying for their school, but also that the college is allowing for their potential career in professional sports. And what do we do about the question of who is bringing in more? Is the fourth-string lineman really bringing in as much money as a star quarterback? The affirmative is correct in that some NCAA programs bring in a large sum of money, but we also must account for the programs and schools that are not so lucky. The affirmative fails to see that student athletes are already being taken care of and have many advantages that allow them to be good students. The proposal of an additional stipend is not needed in the current NCAA system.